Dead by Daylight is a killer-sided game.
Shut the fuck up, woman.
I'm not a woman. I identify as a coconut.
That's why you don't have brain, because you are a coconut.
Yes, Daddy, can you fuck me right now?
Oh yeah, baby. Take off those panties for daddy. Anyway, hello my friends and welcome to the best channel in Dead by Daylight's history. And in this video I'm gonna talk about a very controversial topic, because it seems like there are 4 types of people. People who think that Dead by Daylight is a killer-sided game, people who think that Dead by Daylight is a survivor-sided game, people who think that Dead by Daylight is a balanced game, and people who are into chill. As you can see from the title of this video, I am one of those people who think that Dead by Daylight is a survivor-sided game. Soon I will explain why I think this way, but before that, make sure to subscribe to the craziest Dead by Daylight channel on YouTube, Boy Dilly. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me show you the real reason why Dead by Daylight is a survivor-sided game. Okay, look at the screen and tell me, do you see the problem? Look at it very carefully. That's right, the problem is that this survivor, for example, is way too thick. Like, look at that fucking ass, holy shit. Lucky me, I masturbated right before making this video. But this puts survivors in a very clear advantage against killers. Because, for example, you go to the killer menu, hold on a second, and the thickest killer in Dead by Daylight arguably is the School Merchant. Let me show you how thick she is. Do you really think that this is normal, especially compared to Jane? Like, do you really think that this kind of an ass being the thickest killer butt is normal, huh? Of course you can argue that, no, she's not the thickest killer. You can purchase the Xenomorph Queen skin and be even thicker. Okay, let's see, how thick does this skin make this killer? Okay, this is pretty fucking thick, okay? But I'm not gonna masturbate to a fucking alien. You get the idea? Okay, I'm just joking, but seriously, I would be very happy if they added more thick killers into the game. But let's be serious for a minute. In reality, before we start talking about this topic, we have to admit that Dead by Daylight is a very, very complex game, and it will never be 100% balanced. But developers are trying to make this game as balanced as possible by making these huge killer changes, survivor updates, map reworks, etc, etc. In most PvP games, the balance is very important for both sides to make those games actually fun to play. For example, those of you who have played Fortnite for a while should know that there was an update when Epic decided to add this infinity sword into the game, which was extremely overpowered and out of balance. It was a weird gimmicky item, and the person who had one of these in his hands was stronger than anybody who didn't have this sword, and that made the game not fun to play for those who couldn't find the sword. I took Fortnite just as an example to tell you that balance can make certain games more fun for everybody. However, I have to tell you that unlike any game out there, Dead by Daylight is different, and it's not really possible to 100% balance this game. Let me tell you why, and get ready to hear some crazy numbers. Dead by Daylight, as of this moment, has 36 killers, 228 perks, 687 different add-ons, and 35 different maps. And even though it might sound like I'm complaining about it, I'm not. I'm actually very proud of what we got, and the more content we have, the more replayable this experience actually is. The problem is that even if we forgot that there are 36 killers in the game and 687 add-ons and 35 maps in this game, 228 perks, it's just not possible for the studio this size to balance this many perks, let alone add a fact that they are adding 3 perks with every single chapter for the survivor side and 3 perks for the killer side, and sometimes they release multiple survivors in the same chapter, which leads to us having like 6 new perks for survivors. So we are getting a crazy amount of perks every single year, and it's very hard to balance the perks that we already have. And even if hypothetically they all get balanced, come on, there will still be meta perks that are more useful than some other perks, because Dead by Daylight has a big variety of perks. And honestly, I don't think that Dead by Daylight being an unbalanced game is actually a problem, because Dead by Daylight was built on a mindset that this would be a casual game. Like, just think about it, developers of Dead by Daylight had no idea that this game would explode so much. Back in the day, this game had no skill-based matchmaking system, and this game was all about horror and creepy elements. People used to play this game while being drunk on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, including me. I used to play this game every Friday night before going to sleep, just to get a little bit of adrenaline rush. But what I'm saying is, the base of this game, which was built many years ago, it's not balanced at all, and if developers wanted to make a competitive game out of Dead by Daylight, they would have to revisit the base of Dead by Daylight, where they began developing this game, and restart it. Because what we have today, there's a reason why survivors cannot fight the killer. There's a reason why survivors don't have guns or katanas, swords to fight back. No, this game was built in a way so survivors should be afraid of the killer, but of course, after playing this game for many thousands of hours, you are not scared of anything in Dead by Daylight. This is not a horror game anymore, and this game has changed drastically, and I can see that developers of this game decided to go in a direction in which they would have never gone if this game wasn't so popular. And yes, I am aware that Otzdarwa, who is the most popular DBD content creator, if you don't know, he made a video telling us that Dead by Daylight is a pretty balanced game, but what I'm saying is that I totally disagree. And the reason why I disagree, and the reason why I believe that currently Dead by Daylight is a survivor-sided game, and I've been saying this for like 2 years, I remember when they added skill-based matchmaking system, it became so much more difficult to play for killers. Like, ever since the SBMM system got introduced into Dead by Daylight, I could never play as killer and be relaxed. I have always felt like I'm sweating my ass and playing a fucking competitive game. And I don't really think that competitiveness belongs in Dead by Daylight, especially when there are so many RNG things in this game. I just don't think that DBD developers will ever make a competitive environment out of what we have. But they are trying to make this game as competitive as possible for no reason whatsoever. And before some of you rush to the comments to leave a comment such as Dead by Daylight is a killer-sided game or Dead by Daylight is a perfectly balanced game, listen, I know why you feel this way. And it's because of the skill-based matchmaking system. You see, I'm speaking from a personal experience, and I know what I have experienced, and you know what you have experienced. And in my 3,200 hours of playing Dead by Daylight, ever since this SBMM system got introduced into the game, I've been sweating my ass playing killer, and playing survivor, I can literally pop some music in the background, and it wouldn't be so easy with the music, of course, I would lose many games, but at least it feels kinda calm and I'm feeling relaxed, and I escape more games as survivor than I get 3 kills as a killer. You might say, oh, you need to play more killer, you probably main survivor role. No, I don't. And I don't like playing survivor. I actually made a video in the past that playing survivor is the most boring shit ever. Because yes, looping the killer is kinda fun, arguably the best part of Dead by Daylight, but it's a very small percentage of what you're gonna do as a survivor. Most of the time it's just sitting and repairing a fucking generator for minutes upon minutes upon minutes. That is not gameplay, that is some boring ass shit, and I don't like that. I prefer playing killer. So of course I play more killer games than survivor games, and I guess that my MMR got kinda high because I've been playing many killer games, and now I'm getting connected with better survivors and more survivor friends teams. Another thing that is boring is survivor friends teams with flashlights. I would say, especially if you are a newer player, just take a Lightborn because this perk will definitely save you. But personally I prefer other perks than Lightborn, and I never play with Lightborn, and I get many flashlight saves against me and it feels annoying, and why should I sacrifice a perk slot for something that I shouldn't be taking but the game forces me to take? And I noticed that recently most of the updates were buffs for survivors. Like, take a look at the HUD we got. Survivors can literally communicate with each other to see how much of the generator progress they have done, who is repairing which generator. It's all making survivors repair generators faster, and even with Lara Croft, one of the perks is yet another gen rushing perk, and these perks are really annoying me. And look what developers decided to do with killers recently. They nerfed Pop Goes the Weasel. They nerfed Pain Resonance. I understand why. Pain Resonance was one of the most used perks in Dead by Daylight. It still is, but there's a reason for that. We need good anti-gen rushing perks, good gen regression perks, because that is the only way to stop survivors these days. Because I already made a video in the past that Dead by Daylight currently is in the gen rushing apocalypse. But the sad reality is that I don't know anything about my MMR and I cannot check it because it's fucking hidden. Yet another terrible decision by developers. Why don't they show us our MMR number? Why don't they give us ranks to finally see where we are? After all, developers are kinda trying to make this game a competitive game. They are trying to perfectly balance this game somehow, and at the same time they are hiding our MMRs. Like how are we supposed to know if we are good players or no without seeing it? I don't know. I just feel like my killer MMR is way too high, and if you think that Dead by Daylight is a killer-sided game, on the other hand, maybe your MMR is the upside down of mine, so it might be true, and I really respect your opinion. Comment your opinion down below. I will see you in my next DBD video. Make sure to subscribe for more videos. See you later. Bye.